Hey everybody, today we are going to work on a 2005 Mercury Mariner, and it's once again with the flex joints. I did a flex joint before. No, I didn't. I tried to on a Volkswagen. Volkswagen didn't have the aptitude of adding a flex joint with nice bolt-on flanges on either end. So thankfully Ford and Mercury, bless them, a flex joint that you can change out with just 5 nuts and bolts. And to do this project, it's not going to take a whole lot. You're going to have 15 millimeter for the aft, 13 millimeter for the front. But oh no, you're not going to use wrenches. I highly doubt you will, because these things on here for 20 years. You're going to need like a 24-inch breaker bar and a 1/2-inch sockets. So, and a block of wood. Now let me show you why. As you get under here, and you realize that these bolts, which I have oiled and loosened already, as soon as you start to twist this thing, the whole exhaust system will twist as well. So if you just add a block of wood between the underside of the car and your work, and it took a lot of muscles to bend this thing loose with the long ass breaker bar. And now the front, right here, 13 millimeter socket, you can reach 2 of them straight on in. Now this third one is right here. There's no straight line to it. It turns out for this one, you've got to go small. There's not a lot of room. So I put a 3/8 size socket, 13 millimeter up there. And I had to use the non-ratchet end. If you have a slim ratchet, you can probably get it with no problem. So, and I also had to switch to a 6-sided socket. So hopefully this job's almost done. And I'm just going to leave this socket on the bolt because it doesn't want to come off anytime soon. And we're going to just take these nuts off, and hopefully our exhaust system's going to slide right out. So let's go into hyper. We're going to do some hyper video, which speeds everything up, because this is just one boring ass job. The one fun part you might have is getting the exhaust hanger off. Now, because this exhaust hanger male part is part of the replacement part, you could simply cut it off with the Sawzall, lube the new one, and shove it through. And that's going to be way easier than trying to remove this one, because I already use my tool and you know what, it'll be way more fun to cut it. So just a little tip on that. We'll just cut that, and look at this thing. We'll look at it outside the car in a minute, but it's definitely worn out. Alright, the Sawzall made quick work of getting the exhaust hanger out of the exhaust rubber hanger. Now, the funny part about a job like this is that you say, okay, 3 bolts in the front, 2 in the back, we're out of here. But look at all the tools I ended up dragging out. So it's just a classic case of it's always going to be a little harder than what you think it is. So let's just look at this the markings on the original. There's the brand. It's got all the numbers. And let's match up our new made in China piece of junk that I got from Parts Geek. It did not come with any gaskets, but it looks comparable. It's definitely going to work. The price was right. This thing lasted 20 years. This thing will probably last the remaining life of this car, which has over 200,000 miles. So yeah, I mentioned it did come from Parts Geek. This is obviously painted silver. It's got a little bit of damage that I straightened out. This webbing is actually pretty fragile, so there's some damage there. And it's got some weld splatter. So hopefully it hangs in there. I mean, look at the box. It came in the box and it was pretty much almost hanging out of both sides. It is a tough steel metal part. It didn't need cushioning, in my opinion. So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna put some Vaseline or something comparable on the end of this. Slip that through the hanger. It's right there. And get it onto the studs and tighten this thing up. It has metal gaskets, so not really a need to replace those gaskets. And they're looking good, and they stayed right where they needed to stay. Yeah, do you think you can see some daylight through there? Maybe, maybe not. It definitely, the car was getting loud. And it sounds pretty crusty. What's funny, they have the flex exhaust inside there, but they wrap it with this mesh. There's a leak somewhere. So anyways, onward. Alright, and there it is. It's all done. If you take your time, have some patience, and some tools, you could do this yourself, or you could certainly do it the smart way and hire an exhaust professional. But it's bolts in this one hanger. It's definitely a tough spot if you don't have the cutting tool to cut the old one out. But it took me, let's just round it up to an hour. So you wouldn't expect to pay more than an hour with the exhaust shop if you bought this part like I did and just took it in and said, hey, look, charge me 1 hour. So it's still going to be probably over $100, and they'll do that for you. So anyways, back to quiet. Thank you for watching.